What's up everyone, Mark Hoppus from ARTV. It's time for a review of the Australian pop-punk band With Confidence and their sophomore album, Love and Loathing. With Confidence released their debut album Better Weather in 2016. They had had a couple of successful EPs released before that, and their debut Better Weather was something that I got a ton of requests for. While I never covered it, I did listen to it, and honestly, I wasn't that drawn in. I really do like the song Archers, but other than a few staples and gems, I really didn't care for the effort overall. It felt like they were just going for kind of this middle-of-the-road pop-punk territory that just felt a little too teenagery and cheesy for me in a lot of places. Anyways, I was excited to check out the new With Confidence album. I enjoyed the lead single That's Something, although it is a little bit cliche, a little bit pop-friendly for sure, but that chorus gets lodged inside your head, and it's definitely a solid enough tune. The one that hooked me, though, is the second single. A lot of people were buzzing about that one. It's titled Jaded, and it definitely showed off their influences of Blink-182 and more. There's a pretty consistent tone throughout Love and Loathing, and while I do enjoy a good amount of tracks here, I do feel like a lot of these just feel kind of standard and run-of-the-mill, and while they definitely feel maybe perhaps more mature, I do feel like this sound is reminiscent of other bands, or it just kind of flatlines. It's not something that really pushes me one way or the other. The Aussies have definitely upped their game when it comes to lyrical content. I do feel like it's a better written record, and I do feel like it's more solid musically too. Although some of the choices, like I said, feel a bit safe and a bit sterile, that doesn't really stop you from at least nodding your head along, getting into the groove, because there's definitely some great bass tones here that steal the show occasionally. Also some fun lead guitars, some screamed vocals occasionally that flare up, at least ones that get a little bit more aggressive, and I like to see that intensity. Unfortunately, there are some that feel like they pander a bit to a crowd that likes a little bit of a softer song, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't feel like it really helps with the overall consistency of the track listing. It kind of switches back and forth sometimes, and it gets a little bit messy as a result of that. Jaden Seeley has definitely improved as a vocalist. I think he's kind of cemented his spot there. He sounds great live. I got a chance to catch them at the Vans Warped Tour, and I was honestly very impressed. I really did have this notion like, oh, I should check out With Confidence, and we got to see their set in the rain, and even though it was raining, the band still killed it, and it made me excited to check out this new album. Hype was definitely building after Jaded, the second single, landed, and it is definitely one of the best songs on this album. It's such a fun, summer anthem, windows down, cruise, and shout along with your friends type vibe that I get from this one. The guitars are great, and the fact that you can get into the lyrics pretty quick. There's a deep bass line that starts off the song, and then you get to that quick chorus that is a little bit hard to understand in places exactly what he's saying, but once you learn the words, you're going to be shouting them along. It reminds me of Blink-182, and I think that a lot of people are going to groove to it. I feel a bit conflicted on some of these tunes that seem to squander potential. I would say that Bruise is one of those. It falls into this territory and this singer-songwriter trope, I would say, where you talk about how you're feeling and it's a bruise, you're just trying to feel something, and I don't really sense the emotion that is trying to be there. I don't feel like it really lands. There's unfortunately a few other moments like that scattered throughout this track listing. I would say that some of the cuts like Sing to Me feel a little bit more like their last album, and there's definitely a market for people that will enjoy a song like that, but for me, I'm left with wanting something a little bit more than surface level stuff like this that gets a little bit lovey-dovey, but it just feels more childish, I suppose. Cheap thrills are unfortunately another part of the package. It's not that these songs are necessarily bad, they're just ones that feel plagued with fluff. Things that definitely draw you in, because there's elements to songs like Spinning, the woo-hoo-hoo that sounds like something out of Stacy's Mom or another track like that from the early 2000s. It's definitely something that sticks with your mind temporarily, but you don't really remember a lot of the other elements of the song. The turnaround kind of has this glossy guitar that is all over it, a little bit of extra programming, and a message that's not too overdone. I don't suppose the turnaround, let's make today the day that we change things. I think that that's a good enough message, and sometimes I even need to be reminded of those things when you get down in your own negativity. But a song like this, it doesn't really challenge the listener in any way. How does it stand out from the other tunes? And the question is, it doesn't stand out from the pack, and as a result of that, I feel like I'm gonna forget this in T-minus probably 1 week. Thankfully, I do have some praise that I want to take aim at with some of these tracks. One of those would be Better. A great chorus on this one that does feel very fun. Perhaps not the best song here, but there are a lot of factors that work in its direction and work in its favor. There's also another tune that comes towards the beginning of this album called Moving Boxes that absolutely slams. This tune goes off, and I love the lyrical content here. It seems like there's a story behind it, something to actually connect with, and the fact that the musicianship is up, great guitars, great drum work, and even the bass stands out here, all backing the lead singer as he really just comes across and owns this tune. One of the best moments here, definitely a magnet. Without Me actually surprised me in the way that it became one of my top favorites. I liked it the first time that I played it, but the more I sat with it, it actually has a very sweet acoustic feeling to it. It just kind of feels like you're sitting down by the campfire with confidence. It's a nice tune, one that definitely stands out in the track listing, that and also Icarus. If you're not familiar with the tale, I'm sure you've heard it because a lot of musicians like to go here with their writing, but it's the tale of that one that flew too close to the sun. They had the wax wings, except the sun melted those wings. And here, Icarus might just be the strongest song that With Confidence have made to date. This is one that feels strong, fiery, and passionate. I love the fact that the vocals get more heated here, and so does the instrumental. The pop punkers have definitely upped their game with Love and Loathing, but I still don't feel like it's that bold of a release. It's something that might have improved on some fronts, but there's definitely things that hold me back from fully getting into it. The songs that work definitely work, and those are ones that I'll continue to listen to. In fact, I'll plan on saving them to my pop punk playlist so that I can listen to them in the future. There's songs that definitely have elements of things that could go right, but they don't always fully capitalize. For me, overall, the second studio album, Love and Loathing by With Confidence, is getting a 3. What do you guys think, though? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Start typing right now and let me know. Did you love it? Hate it? Somewhere in the middle? Tell me why. Don't forget to drop a like on the video while you're here. If you have any other albums you'd like to see me tackle, then drop a comment as well. And you can support me on Patreon if you'd like to at the top link down below. Special shout out to Great Clips for fucking up my haircut so bad that I didn't know what else to do with it, so I just threw it into a mohawk. It's the only thing that would work. If you would like to go directly to my Patreon page and support the channel and help me get better haircuts in the future, then click this annotation in the corner. You can see more pop punk themed videos right here, and other than that, I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.